Muy buenas noches, yo soy Carlos Fernando Villa y esta es la serie internacional de tiempo de Mercadeo 2013. El mercadeo de ciudades es algo que está muy de moda en el mercadeo mundial. Columbus 2020 es una organización sin ánimo de lucro que ha atraído muchas empresas a la ciudad de Columbus en el estado de Ohio. Por eso Deborah Scherer, una de sus ejecutivas, está con nosotros en nuestros programas de la serie internacional. Vamos a hablar de Columbus 2020, qué hacen, cómo lo hacen y qué están haciendo. Ya volvemos. Hola Débora, buenas noches y bienvenida.
Gracias.
Débora, let's start by telling everybody what Columbus 2020 is.
Columbus 2020 es una firma que nuestra concentración es un desarrollo de económica. Entonces, nosotros estamos trabajando con compañías que ya están en nuestro mercado, compañías que están buscando para una locación en los Estados Unidos y también compañías que está naciendo, que está creciendo y estamos ayudando a todos de estos tipos de compañías. Es un focus para nosotros.
So what you're doing is you're trying to attract people to Columbus in order for them to invest here or to establish an organization here in Columbus to open, new operations and to extend what they are doing. Is that what you're trying to do?
Exactamente. Estamos trabajando con compañías en todas partes del mundo y con compañías que quieren operaciones adentro de los Estados Unidos. Sí, estamos trabajando con compañías que quieren operaciones acá y también compañías que ya tienen operaciones acá. Entonces, si hay una compañía que necesita un lugar adentro de los Estados Unidos, estamos...
And what do you specifically do about that? You look for a location for them, you make market research. What is it exactly that you do for those companies?
We are doing all types of work for those companies. I really look at our organization as a conduit to resources that are available to really help those companies grow. So as an example, if a company from Colombia is interested in coming to the U.S. and they have focused on that maybe Columbus, Ohio is a good place or potentially a good place for them, we will help walk them through the entire process of establishing themselves. If they need to find real estate, we can help them do that. If they need help to identify service providers who can help them in the market, we make those introductions. If the project is at a level that is high enough to qualify for state or local financial incentives, we really walk them through that entire process. So we're really a one-stop shop for companies who are looking at growing in the market.
How do you do marketing for Columbus 2020? I mean, how do you make yourself known throughout the world? How do people know about Columbus 2020?
Really, we work at marketing in multiple different levels. So nothing can substitute face-to-face interaction.
I agree.
So identifying companies and individuals that have an interest and sitting down with them and discussing what those opportunities are, what challenges they might be thinking that they may face. So sometimes companies come to us, sometimes we reach out to the companies.
That's what I was going to ask. If you go after them or they come after you.
It works both ways. We also work through many of our partners that we have. Our organization is a little unusual that we have over 300 investors who invest in our organization. And sometimes they bring the opportunities to us. But in other situations, maybe a company is looking on a website and they find out information about that and they come to us. Or maybe they were an alumni at the university.
But
here
how
locally.
are you promoting Columbus 2020? Advertising, going to trade shows, fairs, or events? How are you promoting Columbus 2020?
We are promoting ourselves through advertising, through websites, through commercials, through journalism. So inviting reporters to come and experience our market.
Free press and public relations.
Exactly, exactly. And then through many of the partners that we have around the world.
And what
through
is working
way of
better
mouth.
for you? What is working better for you? Advertising, public relations, word of mouth?
I think that the strongest marketing you can have is word of mouth.
One more that says that. Okay. Good for you.
And so when someone is already a trusted advisor and they have experience here and they've had a very good experience, there's nothing that can substitute that, the strength of that marketing.
Other than that, what is it? Advertising, regular advertising, or other type of promotion?
It is a bit of advertising, but the website is in making sure that we have the right keywords. That plays a more and more important role in how companies are seeking information. And so making sure that that presence is as complete as it can be is very important to our marketing efforts.
Deborah, is Columbus 2020 a private company, a private organization, or an official organization?
I would say we are a private, not-for-profit organization, but one of the very unusual aspects about our organization, something that I don't think that you find much of anywhere else in the world, and including the United States, you don't find much of it, that we are really a partnership of private sector companies who invest in our organization, along with receiving public sector funds. So if you look at the investors in our organization, over 300, 37 of those investors are from the public sector, so governments, which could be state government, local government, county government, and the entire rest of the investors are private sector organizations and companies.
Are you working with the mayor of Columbus and the city council, or they don't get involved in what you do?
They absolutely are involved in what we do. They sit on our board of directors, the mayor of Columbus does. But we work hand in hand with one another. We promote the city of Columbus. We promote many other cities around the city of Columbus. And then when it's at the proper time, when the company needs to interact with the government, we bring everyone together.
Deborah, we're going to go to a commercial break and we'll be right back, okay?
Okay.
Vamos a ir a una tanda de comerciales y ya estamos de nuevo con ustedes. How about people of Columbus? How are they involved in your operation?
Las personas de Columbus están en todo de que nosotros está haciendo. Por ejemplo, cuando tenemos una persona que dice que, yo sé esta compañía que necesita ayuda, por favor, va conmigo y vamos a tener una junta y explica qué es necesario. Este es en todas las partes de Columbus. No importa si esta persona es un empleo del gobierno o una persona que es privado. No es necesario, todas las personas
Está involucrada.
Exactamente.
When you do advertising, do you go by stating or saying something about the city? What's the main message that you give everybody or give the possible investors for them to come to Columbus?
We have a very simple value proposition.
Which is?
Which is market access, talent, and value. And let me, if I may, take a few minutes to talk about each of those.
Yes, but before you do that, I remember that I saw something at the airport. A lot of messages, big, in the wall, Are those messages from you, from Columbus 2020, or are they paid by somebody else?
That goes back very much to the partnership that we have with many organizations around the Columbus region, in that they came to us and we worked together to make sure that the messaging was the proper messaging, but that we all worked together to make sure that the pictures and everything that is there that really promotes the Columbus area were satisfactory with many of the entities around the city.
Okay, let's go to what you were going to say.
Okay. So let me start with market access. You can access 47% of the U.S. population within a 10-hour drive of Columbus. You can access 33% of the Canadian population within a 10-hour drive. So having an operation in Columbus makes it very economical in the sense of distributing your product and getting your product to market in a very, very quick and efficient manner. When I talk about talent, there are over 147,000 students who are studying within the Columbus region, and that offers employees a significant amount of resources to pull potential employees from. And then when I talk about value, our cost of doing business in the Columbus region is very low and very competitive. So when we look at the cost of living, we're at about 89% of the cost of living of the national average for the U.S. When we look at our taxes, the state of Ohio has ranked in the top 3 for business tax competitiveness. And when we look at things like labor cost and utility cost, we are very, very competitive, and in most cases, one of the more affordable locations within the Midwestern part of the U.S.
What type of businesses or companies do you think are coming to Columbus more than others? I mean, B2C, B2B, and within them, what type of them? Industrial, consumer goods, what?
We work strictly with economic-based organizations, so I'm not looking at this from a retail angle. I'm looking at this from a B2B type of lens, and we're seeing a resurgence of interest in manufacturing. And when I look at our project pipeline that we have, and what that means is companies who have expressed an interest in either expanding or entering the Columbus area, over half are interested in manufacturing facilities.
Companies like service companies, health, that type of companies, are they coming to Columbus?
Absolutely. We are well known in the U.S. for having many service companies located here. And let me give you an example. J.P. Morgan Chase, many are familiar with that financial institution. They have 23,000 employees that are located in the Columbus region. Those employees are doing much of the back office work for the company. So providing customer service, doing some of the monetary changes and that need to take place from an electronic standpoint. All of that work is done in the Columbus region. Their headquarters is not here, but the majority of their employees are here. We also recently had an announcement where IBM is going to locate their global analytics center in Columbus, Ohio. That was a project that we competed with other locations around the world to win. And so they have decided to call Columbus their home.
Okay, Deborah, let's go to another commercial break and we'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay? Vamos a ir a otra tanda de comerciales y ya estamos de nuevo con ustedes. Deborah, once those companies have been established here in Columbus, what do you do with them? You for sure you keep in touch, but what do you do to them and with them?
We want to continue to be their partner. And so, as an example, if a company is here and they need introductions to other companies, we can help to facilitate that. If a company is having challenges, we bring the right individuals and the right organizations to the table to have an open discussion to make sure that those challenges are addressed and go away as best as can be eliminated. If there are opportunities, if they have the opportunity to maybe expand their operations here, then we want to make sure that we're bringing all of the resources to the table, financial resources to the table that may be accessible for them. And from the workforce side, we want to make sure that we are connecting them with the educational institutions that are here to make sure that they're satisfied with their workforce, to make sure that if there's any training for the workforce that might be necessary, that they're able to access those resources also.
Your work doesn't get into immigration activities, matters or affairs, because that's up to the company that is coming, right? You don't go into the immigration process.
I would say we don't go into the immigration directly. However, if there is a company that's having challenges with immigration or they need some help, we know which resources to go to be able to offer them assistance. As an example, if there's a company who is trying to bring maybe a worker from the home company in, and they're having problems accessing those visas that oftentimes are required, or always required, then we will help work with them through their immigration attorneys or introduce them to immigration attorneys who can really help them work through that challenge. If it's something that we need to advocate with our U.S. congressional representation, then we will let them know that there's this company is having an issue with this, and if it's possible for them to get involved to assist, then that would be beneficial. So we help make the connections.
Have you had any case by which a company didn't succeed or wasn't successful and had to go back or close the operation?
Well, of course, there are both American companies and international companies that are operating that are not always successful in the market. So, of course, we have had
and what do you do then? You help them go
those.
back or close down the operation?
So we have recently had an example where a company has went through some difficulties and had to close. What we do is we also look for companies that are maybe in our pipeline of projects that are doing similar type work. Let them know that there is a available workforce out there that's already completely trained in the industry that they're in, to see if they may have an interest in speeding up their process to come into market. And that way we can marry experienced workers with a company that is interested in having operations here.
Deborah, about students. Are you bringing the students into Columbus?
Our main concentration is not to, our focus is not to bring students into Columbus, but of course we work very, very closely with the universities that are in our area and
with promotion of exchange programs, for example, or things like that?
more so, as an example, the Ohio State University, which is the largest university here in the area with over 56,000 students studying, they have locations throughout the world that they call their global gateways. And we work with these global gateways and their students sometimes when they're coming in and they're interested in knowing more from an economic standpoint about the Columbus area, or when there are businesses in their home countries that they're aware of that may have an interest in the U.S. That's really when we're partnering with the universities and the gateways. I personally work a lot with students at the university. It's more of a personal passion that I have than the company that I'm working for, than their passion.
So you don't work with individuals, you work with companies, established companies.
The only time that we're working with individuals, there may be very unusual cases, and that is when an individual is looking to start their business. Maybe the business is not established yet, but they're wanting to start the business. Then in that case, we may have some involvement. Or if it is, an example is we worked in collaboration with the university to bring in a world-renowned researcher who was specializing in the bioscience industry. And so we worked with them to help attract this individual to come, knowing that the research that he is doing would potentially be commercialized at some point in the future and is a groundbreaking technology.
How many people are working in Columbus 2020?
We have 17 full-time individuals in
Yes.
Columbus, but we also have consultants who are working for us around the world.
Yeah, but that's on a contract basis, not as regular employees.
That's correct.
One final thing I would like you to tell everybody, a website where they can go and find out about Columbus 2020. That's
www.columbusregion.com. That's www.columbusregion.com.
Okay, Deborah, you know what? We're running out of time, but we'll continue next week, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so I'll see you then. Y por el momento no nos resta sino invitarlos a que sigan con nosotros y con Débora la próxima semana para seguir hablando de Columbus 2020 y lo que ellos hacen para atraer compañías hacia la ciudad de Columbus. Por el momento, para todos, muchas gracias y una feliz noche. Es algo que está muy de moda en el mercadeo mundial. Columbus 2020 es una organización sin ánimo de lucro que ha atraído muchas empresas a la ciudad de Columbus en el estado de Ohio. Por eso, Deborah Scherer, una de sus ejecutivas, está con nosotros en nuestros programas de la serie internacional. Vamos a hablar de Columbus 2020, qué hacen, cómo lo hacen y qué están haciendo. Ya volvemos. Attract people to Columbus in order for them to invest here or to establish an organization here in Columbus to open, new operations and to extend what they are doing. Is that what you're trying to do?
Exactamente. Estamos trabajando con compañías en todas partes del mundo y con compañías que quieren operaciones adentro de las compañías que ya están en nuestro mercado, compañías que están buscando para una locación en los Estados Unidos y también compañías que está naciendo, que está creciendo y estamos ayudando todos de estos tipos de compañías. Es un focus para nosotros.
So what you're doing is you're trying to Muy buenas noches, yo soy Carlos Fernando Villa y esta es la serie internacional de Tiempo de Mercadeo 2013. El Mercadeo de Ciudades... Hola, Débora, buenas noches y bienvenida.
Gracias.
Débora, let's start by telling everybody what Columbus 2020 is.
Columbus 2020 es una firma que nuestra concentración es un desarrollo de económica. Entonces, nosotros estamos trabajando con compañías